And what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Toffee Brand Coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
From loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're going to give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm going to let you keep your hand.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday! How are you guys doing? Lots of news today. I'm experiencing legendary burnout, so we're going to get through as much of it as I can before I have a crash out, and I need to just go touch grass for the rest of the day. How are you guys all doing? We've got, for the main channel, I've got the Vivek Ramaswamy coming out for Alex Jones. We've got the MAGA kidnapping. We've got, what's this other story? Oh, Hassan Piker having a mentee be. Then for the Jeremy Hambly segment channel, we have new video of Thomas Matthew Crooks. What are the odds of that? Weird timing, huh? We also have some interesting information on the Troon boyfriend. What do you guys got planned this weekend? Anything? Let's see. Yeah, we got the Jeremy Hambly channel. We got the Troon update. We've got another leftist arrested, leftist terrorist. We've got Candace Owens implying that TPUSA is covering up for the Charlie Kirk assassination, which is very odd. Fishing for my birthday for my mom. Nice. I'd like to go fishing maybe this weekend. I haven't got my license yet this year, I don't think, though. I know that only takes like 5 minutes nowadays, but yard work with projects, snake in a drain. Nice. It's supposed to be warm in Wisconsin this weekend, so it might be. I already like kind of shut down the pool for the year, but it's in a state where like I could spend a half hour today getting it back up and running. Maybe I'll do that so I can swim on Saturday. I'm going to record videos for Saturday and Sunday, but I'm not going to work those days. I am experiencing incredible burnout. I don't think I've ever experienced this feeling before. And obviously I think it's because, you know, we have, you know, everything with Charlie Kirk, the fact that the news has just not stopped for the past 2 weeks, and the fact that I have not really taking weekends off, which is usually my kind of recovery time to get away from stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see here. So right now I'm watching for updates on this kid that was kidnapped. The 17-year-old kid that was allegedly wearing a MAGA hat was shot and kidnapped by 4 Hispanics. That's the story. You know, it's almost like you think this is not even, this is so crazy. Like, it can't be true. It's almost like you would think it's a hoax. But the police have found his vehicle. There is a bullet hole in it. And he texted his mom and said he got shot. A third party called in gunfire in that same area at 4 in the afternoon. Seems like a cartel kidnapping. I don't really know. I thought it was a hoax too, but it just doesn't look like that. Please spread the word about Kaden. I've already done a standalone video on Rumble and on YouTube about it. Sheriff gave an update this morning. I think I followed that. There was no real update though, other than essentially confirming what the story was, right? I read somewhere that police had surrounded a white van and were towing it, but I don't know. You know, I haven't seen anybody tie that to any actually evidence. We love you, buddy, but your health and wellness and well-being and more. Yeah, this weekend, like, I'm going to power through today. I'm going to live stream. I'm going to record, I think, 2 videos for the main channel while we're streaming, and then 2 to 3 videos for my personal channel. And then I'll probably end streaming, and then I'll record a couple more for the secondary channel. But then I'm clocking out for all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Then I'll be back. I think I'll be good Monday. I'm looking, there's no, let's see. Let's see here. Okay. There's no update. You all right, man? Yeah, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Just tired. The authorities are saying that it possibly is a hoax. That he shot his own vehicle, and because they did recover his truck with a bullet hole in it, right? Take a holiday, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably take time off around Christmas. I'll be a little bit easier on myself over the holidays, and then I'll take an actual vacation like in February, like I usually do, where I still do my standalone videos, but I'm, out for that week. I lived through the DC sniper. There's always a white van somewhere. Oh my God, remember that? It wasn't even a white van, right? It was like I thought it was like a car. Wasn't it like an Oldsmobile or some shit like that? And they had like cut out the lock in the back so he could poke his rifle through. Yeah, if news breaks, we know you'll cover it. Yeah, that's probably true. I will. Yellow City. Yeah, it was like a Caprice. Yeah. That was crazy. They thought it was a van for a while. They're calling it a hoax, like the media is calling the ICE shooter as a MAGA Republican. Right. Yeah, exactly. I doubt you can make yourself take time. What do you mean? I went to Hawaii last year for like 10 days. As an unmarked windowless van driver, I find that offensive. Well, I mean, so we're going to follow this, but let's see. Didn't you do some videos while I was there? I did, but that was easy. I did like 3 videos in the morning, and then I chilled for the rest of the day. Let's do this segment. Things are definitely getting interesting in the free speech versus YouTube battle. That obviously is one that many people, including myself, have fought for a very long time. It's why I've always made my content available on just about every platform imaginable. And it's why I've promoted every platform imaginable. And it's interesting to see some of the Johnny-come-latelys. I'll take their support, but Vivek Ramaswamy last night decided to take up the mantle and call out YouTube and tell them to unban Alex and unban Nick. And it's very interesting. You know, if you've been following the story, YouTube essentially was like, well, we're going to unban anyone who we ban for misinformation. And then they didn't unban anybody. And really, when they say we're going to unban people, there's only like 3 or 4 accounts that people actually think about at the time. That isn't to disparage or like throw aside people who got banned and were smaller accounts. But when YouTube talks about giving a dang about free speech, well, it's like, well, show us you do and unban Nick and unban Alex. You know, do that. But they don't. And let's get into this video from Vivek. And he had some boneheaded takes after this too that I want to address. Thank you, everybody who has joined the members area, the members chat room for the quartering. It is an immense benefit to the team here and an immense benefit to everyone who joins, because there's a great community in there. News breaks there first. There's contests going on for Halloween. There's a new moms group, a new dads group, a book club, a church club, all sorts of stuff that I really want you guys to get involved in at thequartering.com/join. It's the #1 way you can support the channel. Also, you could join Rumble Premium using my promo code FREEQUARTERING, get a free month. That supports the channel the same, and you also get access to the members Discord that way too. But let's listen to Vivek. What he had to say.
This is a message for the leadership of YouTube. Frankly, I probably could have called you privately, but I think it's better to just talk about this in the open on this.
Weird flex, Vivek. Odd flex.
Particular issue. My understanding is in the last 24 hours, you locked the accounts and shut down the accounts of 2 guys, Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. They have big followings on the American right. I think it's better if you just unlock those accounts and let the guys be heard. And I say this not because I'm some particular fan or vice versa. At least one of them, Nick, is probably not a particularly big fan of mine. No more than Jimmy Kimmel is, by the way, for very different reasons.
I'm no fan of Vivek
either. It doesn't matter. The reason I'm asking you to do it is that censorship isn't good for America. It's antithetical to our culture. And we're the country on God's green earth where we're able to talk to each other in the open. And I want to credit YouTube and Google and your parent company and so much of your competitors in Silicon Valley for creating the first instance of the free and open internet with search engines. It's a beautiful thing for democratizing speech. But I think we take a step in the wrong direction when we choke those same technologies.
Well, I mean, they created a free and open internet for about 8 seconds. Before they changed the algorithms and forced everything into paid ads. And they didn't care about, the truth when they, would disparage. They wouldn't show Donald Trump search results, but they would show Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. There's innumerable. I mean, it's been a billion years since YouTube has cared about democracy.
That allow us to access open debate and open ideas. It breeds discontent. It breeds frustration. It actually breeds mistrust. If you tell people they can't speak, that's when they scream. And if you tell people they can't scream, that's when they tear things down. So I think free speech is a precondition for peace. It's a precondition for the scientific method. It's a precondition for our shared unity, our shared national identity as Americans. Now, I can understand why you might think that certain types of speech or certain things that are said that are hurtful to other people or that may spread misinformation or may they count as violent or dangerous threats shouldn't be allowed on your platform.
Sure.
I personally take a broad view of what type of speech is an expression of an opinion that's protected, but that's a separate discussion about whether somebody says a particular thing that you think doesn't belong on your platform.
Look, I appreciate Vivek, what Vivek's doing here. I really do. And the problem is he just doesn't have any clout anymore. Like, I don't think YouTube cares with Vivek Ramaswamy he has no position in the White House. He has no, he's not on the national stage anymore. Even this video he put out only has 30,000 likes. Now, that's more likes than any video I could put out. But it's not particularly groundbreaking. It's not viral. And also, by the way, Vivek also said this yesterday, which really rubbed me the wrong way. He said, interesting but not surprising, as he quote tweeted his own video because it didn't get enough views. Interesting but not surprising that most prominent voices for free speech on the left and right alike have ignored this particular instance. It's not a legal point, but a cultural one. I would ask Vivek, what voices on the left and the right are you talking about? I feel like every prominent voice on the right has stood against Alex Jones banning, less so about Nick, obviously, because he's caustic and rubs everyone the wrong way. But I think Nick should not have been banned unless he had a direct call for, attacking people. Same thing with Alex Jones. And we all know that if these people were left-wingers and they spewed the same rhetoric, they would never be banned. If they were left-wingers saying, Donald Trump cheated in 2024 to win the election, they wouldn't be banned. We also know that Alex Jones was famously banned right before there were the midterm elections. I don't actually remember when Nick was banned, but both were banned for hate speech, which is a catch-all that YouTube and Silicon Valley uses when they want to ban somebody for whatever reason they want. Because hate speech is not a real thing. But let's let them continue here.
That's one category of speech moderation. There's a different category of saying that you may demonetize certain people. You're not going to pay them. That even if they're able to speak on your platform, it's not necessarily their right to be paid for doing so or putting advertisers next to their name. That's a separate discussion. Personally, I don't like any of those forms of speech suppression as a general matter, but at least those are discussions that reasonable minds can have. There's a whole separate third category of censorship, though, that I think is particularly harmful, which is the idea that just because of who you are, your name and who you are, you don't get to express any idea, whether it's misinformation, hateful speech, whether it's dangerous or whatever you deem it to be. Irrespective of that, you're not making that judgment. Just based on who you are, you don't get to speak.
See, now that is a valid point because they said basically that, we're going to say it was hate speech. We're going to say that it was, glorifying bad behavior. But we all know why YouTube banned Alex. We all know why YouTube banned Nick. Now, I've consumed a lot of Alex content over the years. I'm more familiar with his biggest controversies and some of his spiciest videos and stuff. I don't really watch Nick. I certainly didn't watch, I see his clips on X nowadays, but I don't know if he was calling for attacks or anything like that, but I'm sure he got banned for the Jew stuff, right? Which, again, if he was a left-winger saying that stuff about Jews, he probably would not have been banned. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm pointing out that YouTube didn't ban Nick because he was critical of Israel. YouTube banned Nick because he was critical of Israel and a conservative. Very different.
I think that breeds mistrust. I don't think that's good for our country. There's legal arguments to be had. I've made legal arguments elsewhere in my books, in Wall Street Journal pieces, and there are legal arguments that you could construct that say that if a tech company is protected by Section 230, a government-created shield of immunity, that if a tech company is responding, even indirectly, to the threats of government officials, maybe that is actually even a legal First Amendment violation.
Well, it's definitely a violation of their Section 230 protections. What I would say is a very easy fix for this, boys. So there's a very easy fix for this, okay? Let me tell you what it is. All you have to do is remove their Section 230 protections because they are not qualifying for Section 230 protections. Section 230 says your platform acts as a platform only and does not moderate the content going on or off, and that's why you get those protections. The same way a city park, cannot control who comes and goes inside that park, and so you cannot sue them for who's in the park. The problem is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they do not act as platforms. In fact, they act as publishers, not just in who they allow on their platforms, but also in who gets boosted, who you can find on their platforms. Go ahead, type in my second channel, Jeremy Hambley. See if you can find it. I bet you it shows up. Now look at the quartering. You'll probably be served a bunch of videos hating on me and spreading lies about me long before you ever get any content that I actually put out. This is on purpose. This is the acts of a publisher, not a platform. So you don't really have to change any laws to fix this. All you have to do is say, you no longer qualify for Section 230 because you don't act as a platform. It's very simple. And that's all they really need to do. We don't need any lawsuits or anything like that. You don't really have to share any of that. Or you don't have to change anything. You just have to enforce the law as it's written.
That's not even what I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about is not a legal point. It's just a cultural point. It's the question of whether this is good or bad for America. And I think we live in a moment right now where when we tell people, whether it's the government or even a powerful company, when you tell people that because of who you are, you deserve not to be heard, I think that actually divides us. Even if it's done with the best of intentions of thinking it brings most of the rest of the country together, in the long run, it actually throws kerosene on the very flame you were trying to quash. And so that's my ask to you. I'm not trying to do this in some type of faux indignation, angry way that...
This won't work. Vivek Ramaswamy has no real power. Again, I'm afraid we're going to get to the end of another Trump presidency where 6 months before, when he's like a lame duck president, he's going to start to care about Section 230 again. This was one of my biggest gripes about his first presidency. He came into office talking about big tech and their abuses of Section 230, and then he didn't actually give a damn about it until they banned him. And by then, he was already going to lose the election. They saw to that, and there was nothing he could do about it. We are now, pretty deep into his first year, and he's done nothing to address online censorship other than, have Mark Zuckerberg donate money to him and pretend that he's his friend. I hope that he's seriously considering, on making some big changes here. We'll have to wait and see. But kudos to Vivek for speaking out. We need more voices. We need more Jim Jordans out there doing this work. And we need Alex and we need Alex and Nick. And we need, crazy left-wingers. As long as they aren't calling for attacks on other people, then we need all the voices on all the platforms. Hassan Piker is a little different because he calls for action of attacks on people. But, even if you're the most leftist of leftoids, I would rather see what you're saying and not have it condensed to some weird Reddit subreddit or Discord group where nobody can see it. We'll have to see how this shakes out. Huge shout out to Vincent. Says, for $50 dues, please look up Pam Bondi. She said on a podcast that hate speech isn't free speech. Turns that she joined lobbying. A lobbying firm back in 2019. Ballard Partners, which ADL hired in 2025. They introduced 2 hate speech acts. Stop Hate Speech and the Anti-Semitism Act. I will look into that. I definitely did make fun of Pam Bondi for saying that. Let's see here. Hold on. They're supposed to be in the back. Okay. Sorry, just dealing with a shipping issue. By the way, huge shout out to this stream sponsor, Crypto.com. Let's be clear, cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. And the latest move cements that reality in a big way. Trump Media just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Yorkville Acquisition Corp. and Crypto.com, the crypto platform trusted by millions of users worldwide. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse token that fuels fast, low-fee DeFi staking rewards and real-world perks like cashback on your spends to establish America's first CRO treasury. Trump Media Group CRO strategy, when it's done, is a new company will be the biggest publicly traded CRO holder out there. Want in on the action? Head over to crypto.com today and let's make crypto great again. For more information on the proposed business combination, check out Yorkville Acquisition Corp's public filings. There's a lot of stuff going on. Cryptocurrency continues to gain traction, and Trump Media Group signing their biggest deal. So it's probably worth checking out. So check that out. Link also in the description to crypto.com. Let's see here. So I shipped something and they forgot to, let's see. Oh my God. Let's see. Okay. I was shipping some tires to South Dakota, and I paid for a guy to pick them up and move them, and they didn't take all the tires. Why does this happen? I was very specific instructions. All right, I'll have to deal with that later off stream. This is why I need Tim Pool money, so I can pay everyone to take care of this stuff. So we talked about this. We did our ad read. Guessing it's a Pajit. Well, here's the thing. I sold a vehicle, and I had 3 sets of tires for that vehicle. And the place where I was storing the vehicle had wanted to buy one of the sets of tires off of me. And I said, well, too bad I sold them with the car. Then, so here's the whole story. I had a car, I had winter, summer, and the original tires on it. And I was storing it at a car storage place. And the guy asked me if he could buy the original tires because he bought the same car. And then I said, sure. And then he canceled on me and said, oh, I don't need them. Then I listed that car with the original tires on it and somebody bought them. So then when the guy bought the car, I arranged a shipment, a guy to ship those, ship those tires. And then it looks like they just purposely didn't ship the tires. So now the guy who bought the truck from me is pissed because he didn't get the tires. And the guy, I don't think this was a mistake. I think they purposely didn't load them. Now, this guy's pissed at me, and now he's blowing up a relationship for me with this car storage place where I have cars stored. So now I have to be an asshole to this car storage place and blow up my relationship with them because I think they fucked me. So now I'm good. The only way the car storage place is going to make this right is to ship those tires and pay separately because I'm not paying for that. This is a huge fuck up. I just texted that. This is a huge fuck up. All right. By the way, how's everyone doing today? Well, they have one chance here. Basically, the only text I'm going to accept back is, holy shit, we forgot. I'll pay to ship them on my own dime. You know what I mean? I see he's texting back to me right now. Great. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay to ship the tires. I'm not like, now the guy who bought the car is like, I want some insane amount of money for the tires. I'm like, I'm not even gonna pitch that. I'm just gonna say you got to ship the tires. I'm not like, this is crazy. On your own cost. Damn it. My thing is, I suspect that the owner of this garage storage place purposely forgot to load the tire so he could buy them from me. That's what I think happened. They know I'm famous. I don't even have to use that card. Like, this is their fuck up. They have to ship the tires. Okay. Let's see. Well, he has a chance to reply and say, I'll ship the tires at our cost. That's his only good reply right now. Anything else is going to piss me off. So I just paid $2,000 to have the car shipped. And I specifically booked a shipper that had room in his pickup to take 3 sets of tires. That took like 5 days to find, too, the right person who could ship a larger vehicle and also take the 3 sets of tires. In regards to your tires shipping the car, a lot of car haulers have a policy no more than 100 pounds of additional items on the vehicle. If you use a broker, it's likely their mistake. You're right, but I specifically brokered the deal to take 3 sets of tires. All right, he texted back. What do we think he said? Oh no. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see here. I was right. All right, here goes the relationship. Oh, no. Okay. This is not good. All right, relationship is burned. Exactly what happened. Exactly what I suspected happened. So I texted the guy that was working there, who's in the middle of all this, because his boss wanted the tires. He's like, I got shoved into the middle of the whole situation with no clear direction. You said to ship them, which I understood. I told my boss that you sold them with the truck, and then he said he was going to call you immediately. He said he called and was texting you about them, and that you were going to just work it out, so I didn't ship them. So his boss lied to him. I'm just going to say he's going to have to ship the tires and lose my business now. That's what I said. His boss, who, by the way, is a multi-millionaire, should be paying to ship those tires. Unbelievable. Of course, he's asking for an insane amount for the tires. The tires are worth about $2,000. And so the guy that bought my truck's like, well, if he's like, well, I want 3,500 for the tires, because that's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. I would be like, you fucked up. Now I want the tires. So now I'm going to have to ship the tires at my cost to this guy, probably. On a vehicle that I already took a pretty big loss on. All right, I can't deal with this on stream. Fucking hell. Sorry, guys. I gotta text this guy now. All right. Great. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go to this place, pull my cars out of storage, pick up the tires, and then probably call like an LTL, something like that, and have them pick it up from my house. I'm guessing. I've never shipped tires before, but I'm going to have to figure that out. And I'm going to have to pay for it. Great. And then he put his employee in the middle, and his employee sided with his boss, which I understand, but let me talk to them. I'm PMSing. Kid found, lied about being shot. Are you serious? FedEx. I think FedEx delivers tires because I bought tires from like Tire Rack before, and they come from FedEx, right? FedEx or UPS will ship tires. Don't need a box or anything. Just tape labels on them. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. He says shit. All right, so they're making it right. He's going to pay for it. We're going to have to FedEx him the tires. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. Fuck. All right. We're going to talk about the hoax in a second here. Thank God in my video covering it, I was like, this could be a hoax. Like, there's some percentage. It's very elaborate. Why did Melanie Mack get fired? She didn't get fired. You guys should talk it out. Texas just make it cold. Well, I'm not going to stop my show in front of 30,000 people to deal with this. He's just going to have to ship it. I don't want to have to. I'm not fucking dealing with it. He has to ship the tires. It was his fuck up. Period. Sorry for all my cursing. Let me see if I can find that he was a hoax. What is it? Is it on any major news website? It's not reported on New York Post yet. You lost half your people doing tires. No, I'm not surprised. They're not reporting it here. We're doing pole buildings instead of storage. Yeah, I tried to build a pole barn, and the construction fell apart on that too. Astrocast is rubbing off on me because I'm thoroughly enjoying the tea. Also, would that be considered theft? Well, it could have. Basically, what happened is the owner of the shop was calling me, trying to buy the tires off me, And as I was like walking into the doctor's office, now he's calling me. I'm not answering that. I'm live right now. Sorry, dude. He's a fan of the show. I know that. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping he just does the right thing and pays to ship him out there. That's it. Then he can keep my business. All right. Let's do this. I haven't seen any information confirming it was a hoax. Let's look at this. For the low cost of 2 cereal bars, I'll fill in for the ladies. What's a cereal bar cost, though? He was trying to force your hand. Maybe not. I did text him back and say, no, they're not for sale. But maybe by then the truck had already come and gone. Give us what we crave. You chewing out somebody? No. Yeah, I'll probably just FedEx freight them. It's going to be, I can't imagine it'd be more than $300 or $400. I'll make the shop owner give me like credit. Give me credit to pay for the shipping. All right, let's go. Hassan Piker is perhaps at the centermost aspect of the calls for deplatforming of particular individuals like, well, obviously Hassan Piker and Destiny, 2 prominent left-wing streamers who have on multiple occasions called for acts that are specifically forbidden by terms of service, taking out landlords and going after Republicans and tweeting out, going out and saying that, Rick Scott telling his viewers, if you cared about healthcare, Rick Scott would be whatever. Like, this guy's a lunatic. And he is now completely melting down. He sees the tides are changing. He knows that his chickens are coming home to roost. Compilations like this one have gone absolutely bonkers on social media. Here's a new compilation. 65 times leftist streamer Hassan Piker endorsed political violence, atrocities, all sorts of stuff like this. I'm not going to play it. It's a 20-minute compilation, but I want to give you an idea of who this guy is and why he's melting down. You see him tweeting here, Hassan completely melting down right now because he says, excuse me, FBI, I'd like to report an Antifa domestic terrorist who needs to be immediately arrested and deported. His name is Hassan. He's currently crying and pissing under his bed sheets right now. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Of course, it sounds like fascist loser begging Trump administration to arrest me for being anti-fascist. Good luck, man. Part of the reason is these people continue to act with impunity. They face no consequences. They've never faced any consequences. It's like we always talk about, people talk big on the internet because they won't get punched in the face there. It's okay. They said they're going to make it right. There you go. Problem solved. Sorry, I'm recording a segment. I was dealing with some shipping issues. There are people watching me live right now. They're going to pay to fix it, so we're good. New compilation. 65 times Hassan Pikers. They say this stuff because they've never had to answer for it in real life. They say this stuff because they've never faced any consequences. This is specific to the left. I mean, there are people on the right that went to prison over memes. There was a guy that went to jail over the Hillary Clinton meme of vote early. That kind of stuff.
Gunshots at the Trump rally? Shut the fuck up. No.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it. We fucking totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit.
Here's him talking about how to assassinate somebody.
Every type of armed resistance against both the settlers and also the Israeli occupying force in the West Bank. Doesn't matter if it's your favorite podcasters like Wife that participate in these raids. The violence that the Palestinians engage in in an act of resistance against this illegal occupying force is literally legal, definitionally legal. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott.
Oh, interesting.
The moment is clear. You got to sick like the ACP guys on him. Okay, that's it. You got to get one of those like Dink type motherfuckers to just like eat his ass alive, you know?
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like, that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. So I think that people are a lot more
People applauded
now.
that, by the way.
This is a time, is an unprecedented time to really get others on board. Someone has to do it. See, when I say that, everyone knows exactly what I mean. I think that shows that there's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, and untapped revolutionary potential, as a matter of fact.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods.
This guy, by the way, lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion in a gated community in LA. I mean, the thing is, like, you know, he attacked Bernie for calling for nonviolence. You know, all this kind of stuff.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up.
I mean, again, that's 12.
I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe, you know, a little bit brain broken. Regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as...
This goes on for another 18 minutes, by the way. 65 times. That's only 14 times. Okay. He says Zohran Mamdani, of course, who's probably going to win the New York mayoral race, refuses to condemn Hassan Piker over his America Deserved 9/11 comments. You know, this is, I mean, Democrats are driving young men to end the lives of, quote, Nazis who aren't actually Nazis. Do words have any effect? Those of us who write for a living like to think so. We hope that we can use words to persuade, enlighten, and perhaps even entertain. But if words do have an effect, then why are there so many people in positions of power so incredibly careless with the words that they use? In recent weeks, here are just a few of the words that have been used to describe ICE officers: Gestapo, neo-Nazis, secret police. And these words were not used by some deranged online hysteric typing from their basement. They were used in order by Tim Walz, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, and Governor Gavin Newsom. These people, when combined with like Hassan Piker, etc., these people are why these greasy losers feel it's okay to go take the life of Charlie Kirk. You know? The first of these people could have been a vice president and had the election last November gone the other way. The last of them is the governor of California, clearly harbors an ambition to be a future president. They're worried about the words people on the right use. You know, the words Charlie Kirk used, like peace and conversation, and there are only two genders. Yet they're out there labeling them as Nazis and Gestapo because these deranged leftoids eat that ish up and they have complete meltdowns. And I mean, here's Hassan. Hassan now, this brand new clip, by the way, scolding the Democrats for a lack of bold policy to fight against Trump. Predicts that they will just say you should have voted for us when people are in camps. We're all going to go to camps, and the Democrats are going to be like, well, wouldn't have ever happened if you voted for us. Like, he literally cannot address criticism at all. He thinks he's going to be put in a camp. He says this stuff, and then he says, ha, 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 they're never going to do anything to me.
Reason why, even though Donald Trump is very unpopular, the Democrats are even less popular is because of this reality. They've like shied away from addressing any of the needs of their fucking base or anyone that's in the margins, by the way, which is a much larger percentage anyway. It's a plurality. Oh. We're all going to go to fucking concentration camps, and the Democrats are going to be like, well, it wouldn't have happened if you voted for us. Hard.
Notice the rhetoric that he uses there? Let me be very clear about what he's doing there. We're all, everybody, 50,000 people listening to him live, we're all going to concentration camps. Well, who had those? Obviously Hitler, right? And these individuals listening to him, they're going to think, well, boy, how do I stop that? How do I stop that from happening? I don't want that to happen. He's essentially, at least in my opinion, calling for more attacks, calling for more violence. That's what he's doing. Guys, if you want this to stop, then you're going to have to keep us out of keep us out of camps. Here he says again, the word Nazi has no power anymore. He's mad that Nick Fuentes is on podcasts apparently.
Isn't that fucking nuts that like these guys so quickly were like, actually this neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, like as long as he like lowers the temperature on like his overt anti-Semitism, he's good by us.
Do you think has been a bigger net positive?
Again, this guy's going to get Nick killed. That's what's going to happen. They use this language, this rhetoric on purpose. You know what I mean? They use this to dehumanize their political opponents so that one of the dorks sitting in their Discord, not my Discord, thequartering.com/join to join mine, will go do something. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. They use this rhetoric because that's what they want.
Positive to America.
Like he's on fucking Patrick Bet David. He's everywhere now. Immediately, everyone was like, actually, this is great. Like the word Nazi has no fucking power anymore. And I know people will say,
it's because you use it for everything.
Oh, it's because you called everything Nazi. This guy is a fucking...
Well, you should have thought about that, Hassan Piker, in the middle of your meltdown. You should have thought about that. You should have thought about overusing that term like you have. Because you've been calling everybody that word. It is rhetoric. Let me end this segment on this. It is my opinion, specifically, the rhetoric of Hassan Piker and Destiny have caused people on the left to commit these crimes. We know that the ICE shooter, from 2 days ago, watched the Charlie Kirk assassination multiple times on his phone. He was obsessed with it. He researched the ballistics of it. He researched all this stuff. He was inspired by it. We know that the Charlie Kirk assassin was hanging out in Discord, probably with Hassan Piker viewers. The mainstream media, starting with Jimmy Kimmel and CNN, dehumanize their opponents. People like Hassan Piker take it to another level and radicalize them. It is their rhetoric that, in my opinion, has directly led to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It has directly led to that person in Dallas sitting on the roof and firing indiscriminately into an ICE facility, taking the lives of 2 or maybe 3 people. It is their rhetoric that has led directly to this stuff. Now, the people that are committing these crimes, obviously, they are the ones who are mostly at fault, right? But Hassan Piker is going crazy and doubling and tripling down right now because he's afraid. I wonder if Hassan Piker will be hosting any public events. All these people on, all these public events. You notice how everybody on Twitch is saying, don't go to TwitchCon, it's not safe. Who do you think is going to be at TwitchCon, by the way? All these quote unquote safety concerns, okay? If I look it up, right? Safety concerns, TwitchCon. Urges women to avoid TwitchCon 2025. Criticizes Twitch CEO over safety. Streamers are afraid to go to TwitchCon. Why do you think that is? Do you think people that go to Twitch are a bunch of right-wing MAGA people? No, it's all leftoids. TwitchCon is populated by people that watch Twitch who are largely leftoids. There's a reason somebody like Asmongold or Hasan aren't going to go there. I would be shocked if Hasan makes himself publicly available and goes to TwitchCon. There needs to be legal consequences for these people, whether it's lawsuits or whatever. Like, I'm tired of I know I'm a small potato, but even I have been attacked in public over words I've said online. And that was years ago. The environment now, you wouldn't catch me hanging out in Chicago downtown. Just not going to do it. It's not safe for me. Now, if the Trump administration starts cracking some skulls and protecting people, maybe that will change. But right now, it's just not safe to be out there. I can't afford private security. It's going to be crazy to see all this stuff. Remember, the CEO of Twitch has to testify in 2 weeks in front of Congress about Hassan Piker. So we're going to have to wait and see how all that shakes out. It's going to be pretty interesting to watch. Let me get some of these super chats, and then I've probably log off for the day. Alex is banned for lying about Sandy Hook and sued for $1 billion. How about a lawsuit against ABC for $1 billion? Yeah. Seven Legion Studio says all Vivek needs to say is jeet to jeet, let people speak. Our sergeant says I've heard from several people that are rumors of an imminent terror attack. I know Laura Loomer's been talking about that. There's always an imminent freaking terror attack. I mean, it's not exactly a bold thing to say, we're due. Our sergeant says, I think I bring this up because I have family that works in the healthcare industry. Oh yeah, targeting hospitals and stuff. Yeah, I read that thread. It's scary stuff. Things are getting real. T. Brooks says, Trump may not be perfect, but remember when you vote, you're not voting for how you want. You're voting against how you don't want it. Yeah, right. Clandathu says, I mentioned to leave the card store place a bad review. I hope the guy makes it right. I just gave him the other guy's number and said, you guys work it out. Panacana says, you see Tim crash out last night during a Civil War rant. Even threatened to end Tomcats for good for a never-ending van life fishing trip. Wait, what? He threatened to end Timcats for good? Does anybody have that clip? Tim does get worked up. By the way, if you're watching and you don't have Rumble Premium and you're sick of the ads, I have a great, if you use the link in the description or promo code free quartering, you get a free month. And you also support the channel. Quick read for them. You probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get an ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble's offering $10 off its annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. You also could just use the link in the description or sign up right below and you get your first month free. So shout out Rumble Premium. He said he wanted to end his podcast because the ICE agents are allowed to wear masks. Well, Tim is a much bigger target than I am. So I think with that, I've got to eat lunch and then I'm going to work on several more segments. We've got a lot more news for you to cover today, and then I've got some gaming streams planned for you this weekend as I try to relax. I apologize. I'm a little burnt out. I hope that a bunch of you will go after the show. After the show, if you're in a position to, think about it today. Go to thequartering.com/join and get in the Discord. You can talk directly to me 7 days a week and also hundreds of other people. And I really hope today, it's Friday, I really, really hope I can get a bunch of you to join today. That will help relieve a lot of pressure off the show. And I love talking to you guys in that chat room. So thequartering.com/join, get in there. We have a couple hundred members in there already. It'd be great if we got a big wave of a couple hundred more over the weekend. And I'm going to go eat some leftovers and get back to making standalone videos for the weekend. We'll talk to you probably Saturday for a video game stream. And then, of course, we'll be back Monday for our formal 2 p.m. live stream as well. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'll see you in the Discord. Get on over there. And I hope you see that. I hope to see you in there. Get in there and chat. Be active.